Hello, welcome to my channel. Today I'm making this beautiful top with Bask and detail at the neck. So let's start with the pattern drafting. From the top of my paper, I'm coming down by half of an inch and I'm rolling a line there that will serve as my shoulder line. From my shoulder line, I'm taking my chest line as 8 inches, bust 10 inches, under bust 13 inches, and the length of the top I'm making is 19 inches. So I'll rule across all these points that I just marked. I'm rolling across my chest line, then my bust line, which is 10 inches, then my under bust line, which is 13 inches. I think I have to change my pen here because the pen is not really visible, so that's what I just did. Then finally, I'll rule the last line, which is the length of the top, 19 inches. That is where my waist measurement will be. So that's basically my waistline. After that, I'll label all those points. So I'm labeling it as my chest line, my bust line, my under bust line. Then finally, my waistline, which is the length of the top. After this, I'll be taking my body measurement. So my shoulder is 14 inches. I'll divide it by 2, so that will be 7 inches. I'll go ahead and mark this 7 inches as my chest line as well. Then I'll connect the 2 points together, just like you see me do. Then I'll be taking my body measurement. So the circumference of my bust is 36, divided by 4 is 9 inches. I'll add my sewing allowance to it. I'll go down to my waist and take my waist is 28, divided by 4 is 7 inches. I'll add 1 inch for that. Then I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance. Now I'm going to be connecting the points together. I'll connect the points from my waist up to my bust measurement, just like you see me do here. After this, I'm going to be taking my shoulder slope. So for my shoulder slope, I'm coming down by 1 inch from my shoulder line. Then I'm going in by 3 inches at my neck width. Now I'll connect from my neck width to my shoulder slope. If you've seen my video on how to draft a basic body, that's just what I'm repeating here. Next thing I'll do is to get my armhole. For the armhole, I'm going to get half of whatever I have from my shoulder slope to my chest line. Then I'll mark it. Then from there, I'll go in by half of an inch. And I'll just slant and get that armhole curve that we always have. You can do this with your free hand if you don't have this. The next thing I'll do is take my bust measurement on my chest and just connect from my chest line to my entire body measurement. So that is what you see me do. After doing this, I'm going to be doing my nipple to nipple measurement. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 3.5. So I'm marking 3.5 as my bust line. I'm marking it at my waistline, and I'll also mark it at my under bust line. Then I'll just go ahead and connect it to get a straight line. After doing this, I'll be taking my dart. So I'm taking half inch dart on both sides. Then I'll just connect it to get my dart up to my bust point. You notice I didn't take the nipple to nipple measurement as my chest line. It ends at the bust point, at the bust line. So what you see me do here is basically like I'm just drawing a triangle. So after this, I'll take my princess dart. So for my princess dart, from my chest line, I'll go up by 3 inches from my chest line. I'll mark it. Then I'll just make a curve to connect it to my dart. So that is just how to do the princess dart. Easy, right? So let's do the neck. I already marked my neck width, which is 3 inches. So my neck depth is also 3 inches. I'll go ahead and mark it. Then from my neck depth, I'll be making that details at the neck area. So I'll curve out my neck width and neck depth now to get the shape of our neck. Then from there, I'll mark 2.5 inches. So I'm marking 2.5 inches all the way around from where I have my neck depth. It is at this place that I'll be drawing out that pattern you see at the neck area of the top. So what I did here is I took a paper, folded it into two, just like you're seeing me do here. Then I'm going to measure that 2.5 inch that I measured initially from my neck depth. I'll mark 2.5 inch for the length. Then I went in by 0.75 inch. That 2.5 you see there is what I'm marking on this fresh paper that I picked up. Then I'm going to rule a line across that place that I have 0.75 inches. What I marked there is 0.75 inches. I'm just going to rule a line. Then I'll just shape out, like make like a cone shape, like you're drawing an oval shape. That's what I'll do there, because that detail at the neck looks like an oval shape. So that is what I'm doing here. I'm doing it with my free hand, sketching out that shape. After doing that, I'll just cut it out with my scissors. Then I'll show you what it looks like. So here we have that shape at the neck. Easy. Okay, for me to do the first drawing at the neck area, I'll fold this paper into two. You know, I'm going to be cutting my fabrics on fold, so that's why I had to fold it into two. Then for the second cone shape at the neck area, I'm first going to measure like 1 inch space, because in between each of the shape there is a space, so that space is 1 inch. So I marked 1 inch space. Then I'm going to open up my paper and I'll just trace it on the neck area of our pattern. Just look at what I'm doing, you understand what I'm doing. Then I'll go ahead again and I'll measure the space in between each of them. I said it's 1 inch. So I'm measuring 1 inch space and I'll bring in the paper again and trace it on the neck area of our top. And that is just it. Very easy, right? So you see everything I just did at this neck area. I'm going to take a fresh paper and just repeat just the neck. I'm so sorry I wasn't able to video that particular area, but I'll do that and I'll show you what it looks like at the end. What I'm doing here is I'm just trying to cut it out so that I can make the basque. So I'm going to cut through my princess dart. Then I'll join it together. I'll join the two pieces together. So that is basically what I'm doing here. I'm done cutting it out. I'm joining it together. After that, I'll bring in my paper back again and attach the paper to the pattern. That's a fresh paper. If the paper you cut out is long enough to do the basque you want to do, you can just work with it. If not, you can get a longer paper and attach it to the pattern. Hope we understand what I did here. I cut out my princess dart, joined it together, joined the two patterns together, and here I am attaching the two patterns to a fresh paper. Just keep looking at what I'm doing. It's easy. A black sellotape was the closest sellotape to me. I just had to work with it. So next, now my basque is going to be 4 inches long. So I'll just mark 4 inches from the center of my pattern. Then I'll use my ruler to just connect it to the side, like I'm doing right now. Like I want to like draw a triangle, half of a triangle or something. So that is basically what I'm doing. After doing this, you can just like rule a straight line from the middle there. You can just rule a straight line, or you can go ahead and measure your nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5. You go ahead and mark it and you rule. So after that, you're just going to be cutting through. So I'm cutting out our pattern here. After cutting, I'll just separate the patterns. So I'll go ahead, cut it out and separate it. For the back, what I did is just repeat everything I did at the front, except that I added a zipper allowance for the zipper. and I didn't add the neck details, and I didn't add the bask. Every other thing is the same. So this is our pattern. This is the paper I told you I did separately initially, repeating everything at my neck area. At the end of the day, this is our top. It's beautiful, right? So this is our top at the end of the day. Hope you like it, right? So this is basically all for this tutorial. Kindly subscribe to my channel, like, share this video. See you in my next tutorial where I'll be showing us how I made this beautiful top right there. Bye.